choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning. Today is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. Today in history, 209 years ago, British mathematician George Boole was born. His significant contributions include an investigation of the laws of thought, which introduced Boolean algebra. Boole also authored a textbook on differential calculus and equations that remained in use in Britain until the late 19th century. Welcome to today's Qingqiao Morning News. Let's start with political updates.
Israel legislation bans operations of UN Relief Agency for Palestinian refugees. According to Reuters, on October 28, Israel passed a bill prohibiting the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, from continuing operations in Israel. This legislation may impact the agency's work in the war-torn Gaza Strip and has raised concerns among the United Nations and some of Israel's Western allies, who fear it could exacerbate the already dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. The bill, drafted by Israeli parliamentarians, claims that some UNRWA employees participated in Hamas's raid in southern Israel on October 7 last year and alleges that some employees are members of Hamas and other armed organizations. Japanese opposition leader aims for prime minister position. According to Kyodo News, on October 27, Yoshihiko Noda, leader of Japan's largest opposition party, the Constitutional Democratic Party, announced his goal to become the new prime minister. Noda hopes to initiate dialogue with other parties if a consensus on comprehensive political reforms can be reached. In the recent 50th House of Representatives election, the Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, won 149 seats, and the Komeito Party secured 17 seats. The Cadet Party won 117 seats, the Japan Reform Association 29 seats, the National Democratic Party 18 seats, and the Social Democratic Party 1 seat. The ruling coalition did not secure a majority in the House of Representatives. Video of North Korean troops at Russian military training ground circulates on social media. According to the New York Times, recent videos appearing to show North Korean troops stationed in Russia have circulated on social media. Agencies used geolocation technology to confirm that a group of soldiers was in the village of Sergeyevka in Russia's Primorsky territory, at a military training ground. Over the past week, South Korea and Ukraine have accused North Korean leader Kim Jong-un of sending troops to aid Russia's war in Ukraine. Assessments indicate that Pyongyang has moved at least 3,000 soldiers to training camps in the Russian Far East near the North Korean border. South Korea's National Intelligence Service reported that, in addition to military uniforms, North Korean soldiers received weapons and forged identity documents to pass as Siberians in eastern Russia, where the indigenous Buryats and Yakuts have Asian features. Cambodia's trade with EU exceeds $4 billion. Cambodia-China Times reported that, according to the Cambodian Ministry of Commerce, trade volume between Cambodia and the EU reached $4.04 billion in the first 9 months of this year, a year-on-year increase of 13.87%. Cambodia's exports to the EU totaled $3.297 billion, up 18% year-on-year, while imports from the EU were $743 million, a slight decrease of 1.58%. Among EU countries, Spain is Cambodia's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade reaching $822 million, a year-on-year increase of 43.18%. Germany follows, with trade of $784 million in the first 9 months, a slight increase of 0.75% year-on-year. Millions of Americans may have consumed contaminated groundwater. According to Xinhua, the American journal Science recently published a study using an AI model, revealing that harmful, permanent chemicals widely used in the U.S. have contaminated many drinking water and groundwater sources, potentially affecting 71 million to 95 million people. These permanent chemicals, mainly per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS, can persist in the environment for decades and are linked to cancer, liver and heart damage, and immune and developmental issues in infants and young children. While U.S. authorities have instituted new monitoring requirements for PFAS in large public water systems, most small water systems and household wells are not covered. UK to ban single-use e-cigarettes starting June next year. According to BBC News, on October 24, the British government announced plans to ban the sale of disposable e-cigarettes starting June 1 next year to combat environmental hazards and curb the rise in e-cigarette use among children. Local governments will implement a unified ban date. This measure was first announced by the previous Conservative government in January but was not introduced before the July election. The government stated that disposable e-cigarettes are difficult to recycle and are typically sent to landfills, where harmful substances like lithium and mercury may leak into the environment. Batteries in household waste also cause hundreds of fires in garbage trucks and waste treatment centers each year. The Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs estimates that nearly 5 million disposable e-cigarettes were discarded or thrown into general waste weekly last year, about 4 times more than the previous year. Spanish player Rodri wins 2024 Ballondor. According to Global News, on October 28, the 2024 Golden Globe Award ceremony hosted by France Football was held in Paris. In the men's football Golden Ball Award selection, Spanish player Rodri won the 2024 Golden Ball, defeating Brazilian forward Vinicius of Real Madrid. Over the past year, Rodri helped Manchester City achieve 4 consecutive Premier League titles and assisted Spain in winning the 2024 European Cup, where he was named the best player. He is the first player born after 1990 to win the Ballon d'Or in men's football.
According to Callion Press, international oil prices have recently plunged sharply, with U.S. oil and Brent oil both falling over 6%. That's all for today's Qingchao Morning News. Thanks for watching. Join us at the same time tomorrow.